don't work with Ravi Abuvala and his Scaling with Systems program. Now, I joined it back in January of 2023. I signed up and I referred two other people. One was someone who reached out to me on Facebook because he saw that I had talked about Scaling with Systems. I referred him into Scaling with Systems. The second person was the owner of a marketing agency that I was working with. I also referred him to Scaling with Systems, but I still don't recommend it. Here's why. I'd been in Ravi Abuvala's ecosystem for the past 5 years, and I was sold on his first version of Scaling with Systems, and the offer there was to find a VA in the Philippines and train him or her to send 2,000 to 3,000 pieces of outreach, usually through LinkedIn and cold email, per day. And for that to generate a lot of inbound sales leads and inquiries and turn those into sales calls, and then of course convert those into clients. So the offer that he was offering was to train a VA in the Philippines, to pay them $3 or $4 an hour, have them send out 2,000 to 3,000 pieces of outreach per day, and have that turn into business for you. They were charging $10,000 for that offer back then in 2018 or 2017. I declined it because I thought I could do it myself. Fast forward to 2023, his marketing is on point. He talks about creating an irresistible offer, creating a video sales letter, and then creating Facebook ad campaigns that fill your funnel with sales calls with your ideal prospects. So I decided to sign up. By 2023, he was charging $15,000. I trusted him. I went back and forth with his salesperson. I got the money and I paid them. And I'll tell you what, when I joined, I was blown away with the onboarding process. I learned so much. They sent me a couple jot form questionnaires to think through who my ideal customer was, to think through what makes me different, to think through what they call activation points. And he has this concept of the race to the case. So he wants you to get a case study as quickly as possible, because everyone knows that successful case studies and testimonials are your strongest and best sales assets. I was blown away with their communication channels. They use Slack, and it was so simple. They have these bookmarks right up at the top of Slack where you can book a call with your one-on-one coach, which I'll get back to, where you can see the weekly coaching call schedule, and where you have an access to the Google Drive folder that they create for you. I was so impressed with how they did it. So right there in Slack, I can communicate with all of the Scaling with Systems team, as well as other clients. I was able to communicate with my one-on-one coach, and I had access to the calendar and all the resources that they had provided for me. It was so slick, such a beautiful onboarding process, such an easy delivery mechanism, that I said, I'm going to implement this into my own business. It doesn't stop there. They offered a one-on-one coach. The one-on-one coach was phenomenal. He had me fill out these questionnaires that I mentioned through Jotform. He created my copy. He created my social media posts talking about the special launch that I was going to have. He created my ad campaign. He created my ad copy. They even created my landing page and my email sequences. It was phenomenal, but I still don't recommend them, and I'm going to come back to why. We had an issue where my client success manager, my one-on-one coach, said that he is leaving the company. So he gave proper notice, and Ravi's chief operating officer reached out and said, because of that inconvenience, he's going to offer me another month of service. So it was phenomenal. Beautiful onboarding, beautiful client engagement mechanism. The one-on-one coach was phenomenal. The group coaching calls were stellar. Ravi was on one per week, and then he had other people that were in charge of other departments, from copywriting to ads to sales, heading those other calls. I've got to say, it was stellar. They offered one-on-one support. It was pretty much done for you. It was just phenomenal. But here's why I don't recommend it. Even though it was phenomenal and I saw people get results, and They gave me extra time because of the fumble that they had with losing an employee, the fact that they did everything for me. I still don't recommend them, because if you're not an entrepreneur that's willing to take action, if you're not an entrepreneur that's going to do every single thing that they say, if you're not an entrepreneur that makes things happen, don't waste your money. You're going to be wasting your money, you're going to be wasting your time, and you're not going to get any results. But if you follow them and you do what they say and you respond and you engage in Slack and you join the coaching calls and you take action on what your one-on-one coach tells you to do, you're going to get stellar results. And I'll tell you what, one of the guys that reached out to me for my opinion and that I referred to Scaling with Systems just did a testimonial video with Ravi this week. So right now it's the last week of April in 2024. So today is the 22nd of April, or the 23rd of April today. And I just saw Ravi release an interview video with that guy. He's a sobriety coach. So if you go up, if you look up YouTube, Ravi Abuvala sobriety coach, you're going to see the interview they had. I think he blew past his previous revenue numbers after working with Ravi Abuvala. And I have the conversation. I have screenshots on the proof of the conversation between me and that person who ended up joining Scaling with Systems on my recommendation, and he did phenomenally well. So what I'll say is, if you had $15,000 to spare and you're gonna do the work with Ravi Abuvala. But here is the caveat. When I started Ravi Abuvala's coaching through Scaling with Systems, I also started cold email outreach campaigns. And my cold email outreach campaigns got a better return and better results than the work I did with Ravi. So what I'll say is, Ravi does a phenomenal job. I learned so much from his onboarding and his client engagement process. But had I put that $15,000 that I spent in his program into more cold outreach campaigns, I would have doubled or tripled my revenue. So if you need help positioning yourself as a thought leader, if you need help launching a book and creating a thought leadership campaign that includes LinkedIn and email outreach campaigns, reach out to me. I'll set it up for you. We'll assess where you're at right now, and we'll do something for you at a much more economical price. But if you want to spend 15 grand, you want a world-class customer experience, and you want to be associated with him and the results that he provides, work with Ravi Abuvala. Join Scaling with Systems. You will not regret it. But if you don't want to spend 15K, reach out to me. Let's talk about what you need, and we'll come up with something that works for both of us if it's a good fit. I hope that helps. Leave any questions in the comments below, and we'll talk soon. Take care.